2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's showtime.
Everybody, Sarah Whizbanger of the Whizbanger Show, excuse me, I already can't talk. Kicking off today's Thrash show with a little Slayer. It is show number 273. I was inspired by myself because for this Thrash show because last week there was some excellent Thrash. And it hit me right in the feels, as the kids say. And I thought, I love all this Thrash so much. It's making me really perk up. And so what better way to celebrate myself and all of you and all of the Thrash in the world than a Thrash show? And it's been a while since I've done one. So there you go. Kicking it off with Slayer with Criminally Insane off their 1990 Seasons in the Abyss album on Deaf American Recordings. And you can find Slayer all over the interwebs there. Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram, I have Facebook on her twice. They're really, really on Facebook. Slayer.net on the web. And they also have a channel over there on SoundCloud where you can also listen to the Whizbanger Show for free. Always for free. And somebody gave me a donation. I think it was, I have to go look at the email. I'm like, I'll get back to this email, and now it's fucking buried because I get too many emails, and I'm not complaining about that because they're all promos and news about amazing things and amazing bands. I believe it was Natasha from Wormholedeath, but don't quote me on that. I will have to make a proper thank you over there in the social media so everybody sees it. Thank you so much for everybody listening to the Whizbanger Show. I appreciate you all so much. I have a lot to say. I'll sprinkle stuff out throughout the show today. It is not a 3-hour show. It's a shorter show today. I was like, in the last 2 shows, I had a lot to get out of my system, I guess, because I had been off air for so long and hadn't produced a new show in a while. And so I think I went a little bit crazy with like the 3-hour shows, but it's a Thrash show. It's a little bit shorter, but we've got some great stuff coming up, stuff that's new to me. stuff that from friends, and of course, a couple of classics starting us out today. So that was Slayer. Next up, we're going to go over to the Bay Area, and we are going to listen to Exodus with Piranha, and off the 1985 Bonded by Blood, originally released on Torrid Records. I have a little something to say about someone in Exodus when we come back, and a really cool a thing to share with you that I've shared a little bit about, but I'm going to share a little bit more. All right, I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host for the most. You are tuned in to the Whizbanger Show Thrash Edition, and away we go. Here's Piranha from Exodus. What's up? Sarah Whizbanger of the Whizbanger Show here. You are tuned into show number 273. This is the Thrash edition of the Whizbanger Show, and I am so excited to bring you all this great music, and it's putting me in a better mood. That was a band from Poland. They're called Lucille. And I chose the track for you, Thrash Resurrection. Their album, Dawn of Destruction, was released on Dying Victims Productions in June of last year, 2025. They are on Bandcamp at Lucille 666, Facebook, Lucille Thrash, but the U is a V, like Cavolt, so Lucille Thrash on Instagram, and then you can pick up their album Dawn of Destruction on the Bandcamp page for Dying Victims Productions. So they came out of, they're coming out of Białystok, Poland. They're part of a massive movement of new wave of old school thrash metal, which I love so much. I was so glad that somebody came up with that little quip. So I'm like, yes, old school thrash is alive and well. Dawn of Destruction, this album, it was hailed for their energy of creator and destruction. So I love the Teutonic Four. Now I got to remember it: creator, destruction, tankard, creator, destruction, Sodom. Got it. Sodom. Destruction, creator, and tankard. So here's a funny thing about Lucille. I was like, that's kind of a funny name for a thrash band out of Poland. I'm like, maybe they're like Little Richard fans or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. So I go and I look, and their cover photo on their Bandcamp page is, 4 or 5 dudes looking all grimy and thrashy and all the things. And one of them is holding a barbed wire covered baseball bat. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead like I am, you immediately go, oh my God, did they name their band after Negan's girlfriend? Lucille. I looked it up. I don't know. AI is weird. You can't always trust it. But I was like, okay, Gemini, is this a thing? And apparently, yes, it's a thing. It's not explicit. But they've got this, like a lot of thrash metal bands, this band Lucille has, sort of a post-apocalyptic theme to them. So it all tracks. The bat gave it away. But I thought that was really clever and cool. And they're awesome. And they were new to me. So this is one of the bands that I had never heard of before, including the band before them from Finland. Then they were called Where Victims Lie. And the track I played for you is called Petting a Burning Dog. I love this band because you can kind of hear a lot of punk elements in it, which I love when thrash bands do that. As well they should, because that's where thrash comes from. And they're from Jyväskylä, Finland. And their album, What Was Left Behind, or their EP rather, was just dropped this month on Inverse Records. So thanks to you guys for always sending me the best stuff. I have so much Finnish music that I love so much. I could just have the Inverse Records show. I've never done a show specifically dedicated to a label or a PR. Maybe I should, because I think that would be kind of fun. I think, there's a lot that I could do with that. Horror, Pain, Core, Death, Dying Victims Productions, Clawhammer PR, Inverse Records, Ripple Music. I get a lot of stuff. Good Boy PR. Sorry for whoever else I left out in that. My brain is who she is. Okay. Anyway, they're awesome, and you should go check them out. Where Victims Lie. On Where Victims Lie on Bandcamp, Facebook, and Instagram is where you can find this awesome band. Top of the set, little bit of Exodus for you from the Bay Area. 1985 was when Bonded by Blood came out. I was 15 when that album came out, and oh my goodness, we were all so excited to hear that album as it was awesome. Still is. Exodus on Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, and ExodusAttack.com. And here's my cool announcement. So some of you know this if you've listened to the show at all, or you just because you know me. So I go way back with Rick Hunolt from Exodus, the original guitarist. And he's just an old friend, and he's family, basically. My brothers are like 10 and 11 years older than me, so he was friends with my brother. So Rick's known me since I was about 5. And I can't tell you, words can't express the love I have in my soul and my heart for this person. He's so supportive, and he's so good, and he's just so kind, and he's very well respected and very much loved in the community, and absolutely deserving it. He's a loving husband and father. He's just such a good friend. And so I interviewed him. He's been on the show before, and you can look it up if you're interested and you just want to hear it. Just look up the Whizbanger show, Rick Hunolt, and it'll come up. It's on SoundCloud. But another friend of ours who we've also known forever, I haven't known him as long as I've known Rick, but I've known him since I was 12. Mark DeVito, who is an amazing artist, does art for Slayer and Testament, and did art for Motorhead, Exodus. Anyway, old friend of mine, and he had this great idea where he wanted to do an ethnographic book. He wanted to interview people born and raised in Berkeley. So I found out some really cool stuff about Rick that I actually didn't know. And I thought that's always cool when you think you know someone really, really well, and then you sit down and ask them interview questions, and you're like, well, goddamn. And one little cool thing, I'll just share this because I've been talking a while, but one cool thing about Rick that I learned, well, it's about his dad. His dad was the first person who started a buyback program for textbooks at universities. So he ran a bookstore, a university book. Well, it was an independent bookstore. It was his, and they sold textbooks for UC Berkeley. I thought that was just so cool. I had no idea. So there was like a lot of takeaways from that, but I just thought that was like so completely amazing that his dad was the guy. Rick Hunolt's father is the guy responsible for buyback programs for textbooks. And I've been talking, whoa, shit, almost 10 minutes. Here we go. Let me play some music for you. How about that? That was just juicy and fun and all the things. Here's Detente, a thrash metal band from LA who Rick turned me on to a while back. I'm sort of embarrassed to say that I arrived decades late to Detente, but oh my goodness, I love them so much. So here's Holy War from Detente. It's off their 1986 album, Recognize No Authority. And I gotta go, man. I've been talking way too much. Jesus Christ, I gotta fix this. All right, away we go. Here's Detente. Thank you so much for tuning into the Whizbanger Show, Thrash Metal Edition. we're back. What's up, everybody? Okay, I promise I won't talk so long this time. I got a little carried away, as I want to do. I'm so excited about music and all the things. Okay, where are we? Well, that was an awesome set. So that was Mortillery. They are on hold right now. They're from Edmonton, Alberta, and that song, Evil Remains, was off their 2011 Murder, Death, Kill, released on Horror Pain Core Death Productions, an awesome label out of Philly, I think. Mortillery is on Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram. They have a great YouTube channel, so you can check out some of their videos at Mortillery Thrash, and they're on the web on their very own website, mortillery.com. I've always loved this band. I've known about them for about 10 years or so, and I've just always been very drawn to the singer. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, Rick Hunold was the one who turned me on to Detente, and I came decades late to them. I don't know how I missed that band. I'm sure I saw them live even. I don't know why they passed me like a ship in the night, but these things happen without explanation. So then I was putting the set list together and reading about some of these bands. I like to try and offer a little bit more information or trivia or whatever sometimes. And what I learned was that the singer for Mortillery, and now of course I'm forgetting her name, and I didn't write it down because I'm a dork sometimes. But she actually let me look for the singer. So Metal Archives. And so she is cited, Mortillery. She is cited as having that Don Crosby from Fear of God and Detente is an influence for her. So I thought that was really cool. And if you just heard them all. So that's Kara McCutcheon is her name. Kara McCutcheon. And so, you listen to all three of those bands, Mortillery, Kara McCutcheon, and then Fear of God and Detente before that with Don Crosby on vocals, and you can totally hear the influence. I always thought that was really cool because Mortillery has significantly impacted my it's coming out all weird, but I've really loved Mortillery since the second I heard them. I thought, God, her voice is so amazing. And as it turned out, Don Crosby, whose bands I came very late to, was an influence for her. So I thought that was a cool connection. So again, Mortillery from Canada, they're on hold right now, but check them out. Just maybe they're going to come back. I hope they do and put out another album. Fear of God before that from LA. That was off their Pavement music release, Toxic Voodoo, back in 2004. They did a short European tour with a lineup where Don Crosby was involved. She also played guitars for part of the tour because one of them left the tour. So she died in 1996. So let's see, Fear of God .band. They're on SoundCloud as well, Fear of God Official, and then you can follow the Don Crosby Legacy page on Facebook. And that was Feed Time off the Toxic Voodoo album that I played for you, which was released on Pavement Music in 2004. Before that, top of the set, Detente with Holy War from LA. That was off the Recognize No Authority, released on Metal Blade Records in 1986. But they do have a Facebook page, Official Detente, and there's a YouTube channel. You can check them out there. So that brings us current. Next up, we are going to play more Transgressive. I played some Transgressive last week. This is my friend Alicia Cordisco's band. And this was actually all the stuff she's been doing lately and pushed me to do a thrash metal edition. So that's where we are today. Transgressive Thrash on Bandcamp. They have a Blue Sky. Yeah, and why are not more of you on Blue Sky? Let's get this Blue Sky thing going. I'm on Blue Sky. They also have a Facebook profile and Instagram, so you can check out Transgressive Official. Alicia is mostly active on Blue Sky, though, and so I would encourage you all to go there. I'm going to play When They Come For You, which is off a compilation that just dropped last month in March, the year of 2025. On Fiadh Productions, which is a fiercely independent label. Here we go with some more Transgressive because we didn't have enough from them last week. When They Come For You. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host for the most. You're tuned into the Thrash Metal Edition, episode number I keep wanting to say 272. It's 273, episode 273. Thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. I sure do appreciate y'all. All right, away we go. Here's Transgressive.
It's too late now. The walls are at the
This is Alicia Cordisco from Transgressive and Project Rowan Wolf. You're tuned in to the Whizbanger show and podcast, now independent and dropping every Friday.
All right, we're back. I think we are officially at the halfway point. I told you it was going to be a shorter show this week. That was Sacrifice, not this Canadian Sacrifice. This is a Sacrifice you need to know about if you don't know about them. They are from Tokyo, Japan, and they're amazing. I played the track for you, Breaking the Silence of the Night. It was re-released in 2021 on Dying Victims Productions sub-label Relics from the Crypt. The original release, Tears is the name of the album, came out in 1992. So that's Tears, and you can get it on the Dying Victims Productions Bandcamp page at dyingvictimsproductions.bandcamp.com. Facebook, you can find them, the band, at Sacrifice Japan Graham on Instagram. Oh, I get it. That's cute. Sacrifice Japan Graham. You know what? I'm never going to forget that. That's got a nice ring to it. Breaking the Silence of the Night from Sacrifice from Tokyo. Before that, Nervosa with Ghost Notes. I was going to pull an old Nervosa album because that's all I had. And then pop in my email box from Napalm Records appeared the new album that just dropped in April, like a few days ago, just dropped last week on April 6th, Slave Machine. Holy shit, Nervosa is amazing. I know they've had some but they've had some lineup changes. The new album is so good, y'all. NervosaOfficial.com. They have, on Bandcamp, they're Nervosa-Brazil. On Instagram, Nervosa Thrash. Facebook, Nervosa. TikTok, Nervosa Official. They have a really heavy South America run through April, so through this month. They've already gone to Bogota. They're going to be in Lima, Santiago, and Mexico City. And then they have some U.S. dates, the end of this month in New Orleans and Miami the day after on May 1st. Yeah, 30 days in April. So April 30th in New Orleans, the next day they're in Miami. So check out Nervosa Official on the web so you can keep up with all the wonderful things that they're doing. I played the track for you, Ghost Notes. So good. Off Slave Machine, released on Napalm Records on the 6th of April. So just last week, Sao Paulo, Brazil is where this amazing thrash band Nervosa hails from. Top of the set, Transgressive, an Arizona-based thrash band, and the project of the one and only Alicia Cordisco. The track that I opened up this set with and played for you is called When They Come For You. You pick up their album, The Year of 2025. It's a compilation of all their stuff that they did last year, and it dropped in the 6th of March on Fiadh Productions, and you can get it on Bandcamp by going to Transgressive Thrash. You can also follow Transgressive on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can also connect with and follow Alicia as well. All right, next up, we are going to Lafayette, Louisiana to hear an amazing thrash metal band called Void with the track Gateways of Stone. They are on the label Shadow Kingdom Records. I don't think there's a single band on Shadow Kingdom Records that I'm not wild about. This band is from Lafayette, Louisiana. Their album Forbidden Morals dropped on Shadow Kingdom Records back in 2025. On the 31st of August. And yes, the band is an homage. Now I can't say the word. Is an homage to the Black Sabbath song Into the Void. Void Thrash on Bandcamp. They also are on Facebook, Instagram, and they have a link tree, and you can go to Official Void on the web to check them out. So let's listen to Void, shall we, with the track Gateways of Stone, right here on the Whizbanger Show, Thrash Metal Edition number 273. Thank you so much for listening.
Forces
winding on down, and I finally feel like I got my flow going. Hopefully. Takes me a while sometime. All right. That was a band from Copenhagen, Denmark, Exelerate, and I played the track for you, Impending Doom. They are a power thrash metal band, and I got this from the Vaults. This is off there, and From the Vaults is a sub-label of, is it Dying Victims? Oh, see, I said I had my flow, and look, I jinxed myself. No, they did. Dying Victims says Relics from the Crypt. Who does From the Vaults? I can't remember. Damn it. Had a flow. There it went. Jinxed myself. But this is off the From the Vaults, which is a sub-label of another label, and I can't think of what it is right now. Hell for the Helpless is the name of the album that was released in September of 2025. I played the track for you, Impending Doom. Exelerate on Bandcamp. Facebook, they are Exelerate Band, and you can go on the web to exelerate.dk for Denmark, and they also have an Instagram page, ExelerateDK. You can also go to the Whizbanger Show on Facebook and Instagram, where I tag all the band's socials. I also do that on SoundCloud when they have a SoundCloud page. I also do that on Blue Sky when they have a Blue Sky page, but like so few people use Blue Sky, it's been difficult to shift over there. Okay, before that, this was the band I was really excited to share with you. Okay, this band, Lomor, which I played before Exelerate. They are from Reunion Island, France, and I'm just going to read the copy that I found for them because I can't do any better than that. Fueled by adrenaline, rebellion, and Creole pride, Lomor stands as a unique voice in today's global metal scene. Pure thrash from Reunion Island. So the phrase Sabouk Rouge, it's derived. So Sabouk is derived from Reunion Creole language and refers to a whip that was used against enslaved people. And rouge, of course, is French for red, so red whip. And it serves as a symbolic and brutal history of slavery and oppression, specifically on Reunion Island. And the band explores this throughout all their music. They're so good. And I just got the green light. I'm going to interview these guys, so they'll be in an upcoming Banger Blast. But next up in the Banger Blast, I'm interviewing Some, and that's going to come out at the end of this month in April. So I got this from John over at Asher Media Relations. The band is on Rockshots record, and I played the track for you, Sanctuary. Lomor, Lomr, is on Bandcamp, Facebook, the web at lomor.re for Reunion. They are on Instagram, and they have a SoundCloud page, so they will be tagged all over the place. Please check this band out. They are amazing. I'm totally down for I really appreciate the spirit of this band and their message, and I really enjoy it. Actually, I'm teaching a class on racism in the U.S. right now. I just started teaching it, and the quarter just started, and now I want to figure out how to introduce this band somewhere to my students because they're awesome. All right, there you go. Void from Lafayette, Louisiana. Before that, with the track Gateways of Stone off Forbidden Morals, released on Shadow Kingdom Records in August of 2025. The band, of course, their name is homage to Black Sabbath's Into the Void. Void Thrash is on Bandcamp, official Void on the web. Go and check out all these bands, Void, Lomor, and Exelerate from all over the world. And I hope you enjoyed that set. Next up, we're going to Bayonne, New Jersey, to hear a band called Bastard Skull with the track After the Plague. And I'll talk a little bit more about this band when I come back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Whizbanger Show Thrash Metal Edition, episode number 273, streaming from everywhere and nowhere. Check out the Whizbanger Show on the web at thewhizbangershow.com. I am also on Blue Sky, SoundCloud, Facebook, and Instagram. You can email me at whizbangershow@gmail.com or send me a message on the socials if you want to get your band on the show, if you want to send me a message, dedication, compliments, questions, hate mail. No, don't send me hate mail. All the things. All right, away we go. Thank you so much for leaning in and hanging out with me today. right, moving right along. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host for the most. You are tuned into the thrash metal edition of the Whizbanger Show. And that's it. We're done. I've got two more tracks that I'm ending with today. So yeah, kind of a short show today, but which you're welcome because the last two shows have been like 3 hours long. All right. That was a band from, originally from San Jose, but I guess they're based in Las Vegas now. They're called Avenger of Blood. Revenge is my name. Smack right in the theme of all thrash metal, isn't it? They were a thrash speed metal earlier when they were from the Bay Area. They moved and now they're more death thrash, but keeping that thrash alive. Their album, this was the title track to their album, which was released in June of last year on M Theory Audio. Avenger of Blood on Bandcamp, of AOB Thrash on Facebook, and that's all I could find. Revenge is my name is the track I played for you. Before that, Straenge for another Tokyo, Japan. Is there another Tokyo in the world? I'm not sure. Another Japanese thrash. This is a death thrash metal band, and they're called Straenge, and it's spelled Straenge. I played the track for you, Space Cowboy, and I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I wonder if it's at all related to Cowboy Bebop. I'm not really sure. All right. 2023 is when their album Filthy Microbes came out in March of 2023. And this is an independent release. I got this from Vlad over at VladPR. Sends me all kinds of great heavy metal and thrash and death metal and all the things. A lot of speed metal too. Straenge Thrasher on Bandcamp. And Straenge Thrasher, Straenge is spelled in the American English as Strange. I don't know if they spell that also in the same way in other English-speaking countries, but stop talking, Sarah Whizbanger. Straenge band, Straenge Metal on Instagram and Facebook, and that's Straenge, Straenge Metal on Facebook and Instagram. Straenge Thrasher, Strange. I think if you just go Straenge Thrash Japan, Google that shit and you'll find them. Space Cowboy off the Filthy Microbes album released in 2023 from the band Straenge from Japan. Bastard Skull After the Plague is a track I opened up with. They are from Bayonne, New Jersey, and that's in the US and their self-titled album was released on Wormholedeath label back in 2025 in February. Thanks again, Natasha, for the donation on Buy Me a Coffee. You can support the Whizbanger Show by liking and sharing all you want, which is great, and helps me get more reach. And also you can donate using the donate here, tip the DJ button on the website on PayPal, and also buy me a coffee. You can also buy something off my Bandcamp wish list if you so choose. All right, and I appreciate all of the support I get from everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Nat, for the donation. All right, I'm going to give you 2 songs today as your outro. 2 amazing bands that I love so much. First one's going to be from All Hell. This is a title track from their Sunsetter album, released on Terminus Hate City in 2025 in July. They are from Asheville, North Carolina. All Hell on Bandcamp, All Hell Band on Facebook and Instagram. All Hell, the title track to Sunsetter, released in July 2025 on Terminus Hate City. And I got this from the good people over at C Squared Music. And then after All Hell, you're going to hear Mortal Scepter with Blind Sight. This is a Blackened thrash metal band from Dunkirk, France. I got this. It's a double release on Xtreme Music and Fighter Records, and it was released in September of last year on their album Ethereal Dominance. You can find Mortal Scepter on Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram, and SoundCloud. And if you're in the France area and you're anywhere near Lille, on the 17th of this month, they are playing Loud and Blast Days. So again, we are wrapping it up the show with All Hell, the title track to their album Sunsetter, released last year, and Mortal Scepter's Blind Sight, released also last year on their album Ethereal Dominance. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most, and I'm not sure what's going on next week. I think I might do a cover show because I haven't done one this year yet. And then we're going to end the month doing a kick-ass sludge special with a bunch of stuff from some and some of their choices. And it's going to be released with their album, which is coming out on the 26th of this month. And it's also going to be the same day, maybe-ish, release of the Banger Blast with the Some interview. So big support for this band. They are from France. Oh, God damn it. They're from Quebec, where they speak French. Quebecois. And they've just, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to take away from the bands that we're going to hear, which is more All Hell and Mortal Scepter. But Some has been together, I think since their first release was in 2020. And we have been pals since then. They sent me stuff way back then, and I think the first thing I ever played for them was a cover of a Prince song that's escaping me now. Not Let's Pretend We're Married. Oh God, I can't remember. But anyway, so we've been together a long time, and I just thought it was time to interview them. They're a really interesting independent band. They just are very smart, very creative, very thoughtful. So I did my best at sending them great questions. I haven't looked at their answers yet. They sent them yesterday. So I will get to that. So once again, Thrash Metal Edition today, episode number 273. We're going to end with All Hell title track from Sunsetter and Mortal Scepter's Blind Sight off their Ethereal Dominance record. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. Practice radical kindness toward yourselves, and that means my message lately has been accept the kindness given to you. Accept the kindness given to you. Harder than being kind, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right, away we go. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you on the flippity flip, and take care. Love you so much. Later.
lyric